And good evening, Trojans. I can't. There you go. No, I can't hear me at all, though, Nick. If welcome out to the Thomas Bachman Show. I have no idea if we're on. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me at all? I can hear you. You can.
Right now.
I sound perplexed is how I sound on there. Welcome out to our Week 7 edition of the Thomas Bachman Show. Oh, is it?
You sound like a chipmunk.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
When it comes to celebrating big moments, BK Distributors has you covered. From eye-catching fathead decals and senior banners, to custom cutouts that bring your favorite faces to life, we help make memories larger than life. Cheer loud and proud with hand fans and personalized signs, or honor achievements with awards and trophies that shine just as bright as the people who earn them. Whether it's for your school, your team, your business, or your community, BK Distributors delivers quality, creativity, and service you can trust. BK Distributors, where every moment deserves to stand out.
Here's an important message for everyone in Central Louisiana experiencing changes in their vision. If you've met this year's Medicare deductible and are experiencing vision changes due to cataracts, then right now is the best and most affordable time to schedule your procedure with the cataract team at Wallace Eye Associates. A new year means a new deductible, so when it's time for cataract surgery, there's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
Walk-ons for the Thomas Bachman Show. I am Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. Glad to bring you
I knew something was wrong.
Tonight's Thomas Bachman Show. And, you know, I used to get after Chuck a lot for piddling during the middle of the season, but who knew pre-game or pre-show that we would do that. Anyway, I am Doug Gann. Nick Magnano by my side. Head coach Thomas Bachman joins us. It is a Week 7 edition of the Thomas Bachman Show, and we've got a lot to talk about. Of course, big rivalry week coming up, but we'll look back ahead at the Trojans game last Friday night up in West Monroe. Did not end how the Trojans wanted it to, but it was the battle that we expected. So, Coach, first of all, welcome aboard.
Yep, glad to be here, ready to do it again.
Look, we'll dive in. Of course, for those of you that are new to the show, we'll name our Express Pros Lineman of the Week, our Southern Air Cool Player of the Week, and our Sabine State Bank Player of the Game. We'll have all of that for you tonight, as well as interviews with a couple of the players. We'll have some of the coaches on here. Brand new coach who I think is making his first appearance on the show. We'll get him up here. I think when he saw you talk about it, Nick, he took off and hid.
Yeah, he might have got a little scared whenever he heard us sound like chipmunks.
I'm looking for him.
Look, I know that it started to clear out some of the folks that were in here too. Again, Coach, let's jump right into it. Trojans start the non-district slate 5-0, jump into district after winning all 5 district games a season ago. dropped the first one on the road in a heartbreaker, 34-31. And it started out behind again, but 2 quick plays on there. So take me through that first maybe 5 or 6 minutes of the ball game.
Off to a terrible start. Put the ball on the ground. The first 3 plays of the game. Now we're ruled down on second down, but, just awful start, Tried to start the game going for a big one. Don't get it executed. And then we're scrambling, drop the ball, and so we're 2nd and 16. Just not the start you want. Turn it over. They're starting from the +25. They go up 7-0. We were able to respond right there, go 92 yards. But again, we commit a penalty and we're starting from the -8. Just not very good. I know I said off air. I don't know if we got any Christmas presents to give out this time of year, because it feels like we gave them all out last Friday night. Credit to them. They made some plays that they had to make, but certainly feels like you gave it away more than anything else, just with a couple of key situational things for us as players, and coaches. But, really proud of the way the kids competed. If you want to go series by series, I can certainly jump into that. We go 3 and out, fumble on 3rd down. They go score a touchdown, but we responded right back. I thought that was a really good series. Griff comes close to going 92 right there on the first play, gets us a big play. Obviously, Grayson on a throwback screen there.
It was a brilliantly called, because it went right into the teeth of the pressure. They were pursuing and had so much pressure on you that backside throw was well executed.
Yep, we felt good about it. Didn't know when we were going to pull it out. Didn't know it was going to be quite that early. But it's a situational call, and you certainly don't want to waste those. And it was the perfect time. Ball's on the right hat. The correct hash. Ball was on the left hash.
Right.
Just a good opportunity to pull it out right there. And so we're right back in it. And then,
Carter
kick off.
Rivette
With a
great
key block in
on
the way that he was able to shield, in today's game, a couple decades ago, that would have been really good football if you come and crack back and knock him out of the game. But now,
today it's really good football because he got in the way. He got in front of him and didn't get the back. And so that's what it is. And that stinks. And I'll PG it down a little bit for the table. But it's terrible that, in the physical sport that football is, you're supposed to be able to really get an attention.
Player safety is a huge part of it. I'm not saying I necessarily agree or disagree, but, the crackback blocks. And so, Carter, I almost called him Hunter. Carter does an incredible job there, to make sure that it's a touchdown.
Right.
And once we secured that last block, nobody else was going to run him down. So now, look, we got off to a terrible start, but, hey, it's 7-7. Let's go.
Look, Nick.
Kick off to them and play a really good series and then block the punt. So now we have the momentum. We've overcome the terrible start. We've overcome gift wrapping it, there. Missed some tackles even on that short field that we have not missed. So here we are, 14-7, and, it kind of stayed that way for a little while. Until again, they start from plus territory. They hit us on the jail screen, and they're able to tie it at 14 there. Both their touchdown drives in the first half, one started from the plus 25, one started from the plus 42. Those are things that you can't happen if you were to ask what's the story of the other night. That we got a couple of takeaways, with the block punt, the pick out of Jay. We gave the ball away. Would be field position and explosives,
And that's the two things that you really look at, turnovers and explosive plays. You think if we get those two things in check, but the big scores that they had, the big reverse from number 4 and the touchdown at the end by number 4 and the other big catches that he makes, it's a testament to why that dude's a player, too. He's a good dude.
There's a little bit frustrating about that. You want to prepare, and all indications, call it gamesmanship, call it whatever you want, wasn't prepared for him to play. They fibbed on that one, I guess, whatever you want to say. And we look back, and it's like, dadgummit, we should have prepared our kids for for that, for him to play because he's a difference maker. But I guess he scored 3 of the 4 touchdowns, 2 on jails, 1 on the reverse. Even with all that, had an opportunity to win the game and disappointed that we didn't. And,
Coach, with the block punt, you get 7 off of it. With the fumble that we gave them, they get 7. They get like you're talking about, the next turnover, they end up, getting a touchdown as well. And I mean, that's really the difference of the game, I mean, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It was kind of the timing, of the situation. Like you said, if off air, the Jay's INT becomes a field goal instead of a touchdown.
Right. You got to dial up the right play. You think back and, for me, how I internalize everything is, how do you dial up the one that's the for sure touchdown? How do you have that in your back pocket? How do you have that, whether it's just normal football execution, or a scheme play or something that you dial up. The mentality changed. I know we've jumped to the end of the game. When we made that first down, all right, so we're first and 10 from the 12, 13-yard line, if I remember correctly. The mentality kind of shifted from where the clock is the most important thing to, man, we score a touchdown right here, this thing's over.
Yep.
And so just trying to think back to the management of that situation, we kind of, weren't just playing to bleed the clock and kick a field goal and let them, so not that we were playing with all-out tempo, but we weren't just bleeding the clock. We get we get stuffed on first down. We take a shot on second down. Felt like we liked that matchup. Jayton against that corner. Would like to have closed it out right there, and then on third down.
I think personally he won that matchup, for the record. I think he won that matchup, and there was but that's me. I know you're not gonna, that's me. I think he won that matchup, and there was a little extra.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and we've always done a really good job with our kids of these are the things we control and not putting it in anybody else's hand, and throw and catch, gets us up. Then third down, we get sacked, dialed up a play, thought we had an opportunity at it. But Eli steps out there, bangs a 40-yard field goal, and we're up 30.
Which is what he's done all along,
Yep, we're up 31-24, and, it's about 220,
227 to go in it,
227, and, 4 got loose. We're all over it. There was some tendencies with, formationally, and when they push the back, our kids knew what play was coming. Like, we were all over it. It wasn't like a gotcha, whatever. We knew the kids knew exactly what was coming when they presented that play the way that they presented. We just didn't make the play. That kid was slippery, and
it looked like he got out from about 3 guys over there.
Yeah,
that were on him.
But look, that's the game. We've got to coach and play better and close games out. But the competitive spirit that our kids showed, handling the environment. Y'all were up there. It was an incredible environment. It's what high school football's supposed to be in this district, one of the best in the state. It's going to be that way from here on out. And, disappointed. They're hard to swallow. There's no redos. There's, like, boy, would I love to jump in a time machine and go back to Friday and run it back. Or, hey, let's spot a ball tonight here in 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? The competitiveness in you wants those moments back, but you don't get them back.
But here's what is so, we go 10-0 last season, and the best season in the Trojans' history, no doubt about it. And so you come around to this season in arguably one of the top 2 or 3 toughest districts in the entire state, without a doubt. It's toughest because of those type of games. Going on the road in 2-5A is very difficult. It's rough coming into all the horns and all the noise and all the pomp and circumstance that is Butch Stoker Stadium. You just got to be able to prepare and get back up off of that and get back moving. I want to talk a little bit about Kason Williams and the work he had. 28 carries for the sophomore, and you look at him towards the tail end of it.
120, what was it, 120?
124.
24.
Yeah.
And, you deal with what you deal with, but one of the good things about replacing JT and Vaughn is that you had Kason and Noble. And, of course, Noble's out for a few games, and that puts the workload on a young
Legitimately
man.
out. We're not saying
You're
he's
not
out.
saying he's out and going to bring
He's
him in
out.
the next.
Eventually,
Yeah,
we're gonna. Eventually, he's going to be back.
There's one right back. There you go.
He's out. You know, I mean, you know, their 4 played, ours didn't.
Right.
You know, was one of the things. But that's part of it. We feel really good about Tyler. Tyler rolled his ankle early
Monday
in the
night,
week.
I think you'd said,
rolled his ankle, and so eventually, look, we're going to get some bullets back. But you know, the performance that Kaysen had was really good.
That's
you know,
right.
It came to. All right, we got one guy. We've got to manage this. We've got to get the game to the second half. You know, I don't know that I don't know. I mean, to go ask them to carry it 35 times all by yourself with nobody else to really pull out of the off the sideline and put in was something. But I mean, you can see the difference in first half carries and second half carries. And when it got crunch time, I thought that the kid represented himself well and showed a glimpse, which he's done all year for us. But hey, these two are fixing to be hard to handle for a long time.
Yes, they are.
He's had some amazing games. And Nick, you and I have talked about it a lot. This had to be kind of a coming out party for Kaysen Williams because the world saw what he can do as the game goes on. And those 2 or 3 yard carries turning into bigger carries later on in the game. And just, I mean, young man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just not fully developed at all.
Yeah, no, his best days are in front of him.
Correct.
That's for sure. But he's having some really good days right now.
A lot of good days.
You know, I mean, look, I think those guys have introduced themselves well. You know, as far as in this early season, 19 carries in the second half. Look, I'm proud of so many things, disappointed in the result, but proud of our kids. There's no group of kids I'd rather do it with. You know, they're kicking themselves. You know, I wish I would have told Griff. You know, what is Kyron Griffin going to do? He's going to compete his tail off,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
There's no question. And, you know, he's played both ways. He's a little bit fatigued. He's a little bit exhausted. And when we send him out there, you know, you wish you would have armed him with a couple of information. Hey, if it's close, let it go in the end zone. We hadn't had a whole lot of success on kickoff return. Let's just start from the 20. You know, Coach Donahoe and I are talking about how to manage that situation. All right, we got 143, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You know, all right, at the very least, we're either winning the game or we're in overtime.
Yeah.
We're not going to just give it 3 incomplete passes and we're giving them the ball back. Like, so, you know, those are the conversations that we're having leading up to that. But, you know, those are the things. You know, Kyron Griffin's going to be a competitor. Knew that. You know, going to make a play, and, you know, it just went our way.
So,
when again, did not go our way.
Right. So a couple of positives. First of all, you're talking about the environment, okay? And I've never been there for a football game. But if you go back and watch our broadcast, and Matthew, my son, who's the cameraman, he was saying, Dad, I can't get the camera to stop shaking because our crowd.
Our people were incredible.
They were
our
incredible.
People were incredible.
They were
like
phenomenal.
yeah, I know it's your home field advantage, but when you had the ball and our band was rolling and our fans and our parents and our community, yeah, it had an impact on the game too.
Yeah.
So it was an incredible atmosphere, and they certainly played a part. Our people played a part too. They made the 2-hour trip up there, and very appreciative because I never really got a chance to turn around and take it in.
Right, no.
But you could feel it. You could hear it.
You can see it on our broadcast when it shakes, too.
When
it was awesome.
When I put this all the way up, I know you're not the technical guy on this. Nope. When I put that all the way up for his voice, that means that it's loud.
Yep.
So
it was great.
The old chipmunk was having to get loud out there.
Another positive, Coach. I'm sorry.
And then even after the turnover, like, you know, our defensive kids were really after the turnover on the kickoff return there with the minute now they got a chance. Like, there were some kids that were really, you could see that it had bothered them that we let them hit us on the screen, right? And you know, there was some emotion there in that moment of feeling like, you know, maybe they let their teammates down or whatever it was. And I just remember, look, guys, this sucker ain't over, right? You get your butt out there and they ain't scoring a touchdown. It's going to be a field goal opportunity at the most. And I'm very proud of the way that, you know, we even competed up through that. And then the kid made a field goal, right? You know, we should have brought the block from the other side when they go guard over there inside the 20-yard line. Just a bunch of things that you look back and, as I've said on this show before, you try not to waste failures. There's a lot of things that are stored up in your mind, so when you're in that situation again, hopefully you're prepared to dial up some things.
Look, all your goals are still directly in front of you on this. This doesn't move a bit of it out of the way.
No doubt, but still.
I know, it's
you ain't ever going to, yeah.
But on the field, Coach, they had 33 carries for 117 yards.
Yeah,
I mean, that's very good. Yeah.
You take, and so they had a 20-yard reverse. Number 7 hit us for a 115-yarder, and 22 had a 10-yarder, right? Those 3 carries are 45 yards. You take those off, they had 30 carries for 72 yards. I'm very proud of there was a little bit of, all right, they're huge on the offensive line.
They are big.
They're absolutely huge. And, how are we going to go with these guys? And I could not be prouder of the way we defended the run and played. It's the jailbreak screen that ultimately, hurt us.
Yeah, and they had 251 yards passing, which is uncharacteristic for them, and 23 attempts. I mean, so that means you guys had.
But 100 whatever of it is.
4 had 9 for 219 or something like that. Yeah. He was a difference maker, and you tip your hat to him. I know Coach Mercer's not here, but maybe the way, I know that there's some regret in the way we presented some things in anticipation of, hey, and there's another dynamic player that they're out there. There's a kid that got hurt in week 1 that's a really good player that if they get him back, they'll be a handful to deal with offensively at some point this year.
Right.
They're a handful to deal with right now. But you add another dynamic playmaker into the mix, a receiver that wears number 13 can go to.
Well, keep in mind, they've already beat Catholic of Baton Rouge, and they lost to Coach Dunn and that North DeSoto team, who is as good as they've ever been on there. And so, it's not a team that you look at and says anybody's down. It's a battle, and it was the battle that we thought it was. Didn't come out like we wanted, but there's better days down the road. Week 7 is here, and that's all that you
it's
can.
time
That's
to
all
move
you can
on.
focus on.
I don't care if you told me they beat the Patriots.
I understand. I understand you don't, but that's right.
I'm with you, but
I got it.
So we're going to take our first break of the night. When we come back, we will have our Express Pros Lineman of the Week. We'll have our Southern Air Cool Play of the Game, and we'll have our Sabine State Bank Game Ball that we're set to give out. And we'll do all of that when we come back. Still a lot of time to get out here to walk-ons on a beautiful, beautiful Thursday night. It is Week 7, and we'll be back right after this. You're watching the Thomas Bachman Show, brought to you by Sadler's Towing, live from walk-ons on 446 Sports.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. As the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right all year round. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $6,000.
Find a dealer near you at LouisianaKubotaDealers.com.
The Rapides School-Based Health Center brings healthcare straight to your child at no cost to you. We provide comprehensive physicals, wellness checks, sick visits, sports physicals, immunizations, behavioral health counseling, and more. Our licensed medical providers, nurses, and social workers are ready to care for your children with no out-of-pocket cost to families or the school board. Our purpose is simple: keep students in school, parents at work, and help students thrive. Sign up today and help keep Rapides healthy.
Hi,
Hi, this is Robin with Little Cakes with Big Attitude, and I have some exciting news. Fall is finally here, and that means our amazing fall flavors are ready to go, hot, iced, or frozen. Delight your taste buds with flavors like spiced caramel apple, cinnamon roll, maple pecan, s'mores, and of course, pumpkin spice latte. And just when we thought fall couldn't get any better, we were voted Sinlaw's Choice for Best Bakery and Best Dessert. Little Cakes with Big Attitude in Alexandria or our Pineville location. Stop by today.
At Louisiana Athletic Club, we believe in keeping fitness affordable. We're proud to offer the most extensive fitness options in the area, all at an unbeatable price. From group fitness and childcare to heated pool and family-friendly amenities in 2 convenient locations, we've got everything you need to stay fit and active as a family. Join Louisiana Athletic Club today, where quality fitness meets affordable pricing and everyone can thrive. Find your fit at louisianaathleticClub.com.
Thanks to recent advancements in cataract care at Wallace Eye Associates, patients are actually excited about having their cataracts removed. That's because our team of doctors are now able to give cataract patients a whole new level of clear, natural vision. Schedule your cataract evaluation now before a new deductible is due in the new year. When it's time for cataract surgery, there's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
And we are back here to walk-ons on a Thursday night. Boy, that is the longest first segment, Coach, that we've ever had. We're halfway through this one. So we're going to jump back into our honorings that we do, and then we'll move on into the week ahead. We'll talk to some of the players, I think, tonight as well. We'll be here longer if we need to. That's no big deal. First of all, we want to look at our Southern Air Cool Play of the Game, and we've got that drawn up on here. But, Coach, you alluded to it a little bit in that first thing, and then off the air as well. And it was that throwback pass from Carson to Grayson Thibodeau that goes 54 yards. And let's take a look at it, and our folks at home are going to be able to look at it as well. There goes motion from Burford. Rolling that direction. Now they'll kick it back to wide open Grayson Thibodeau to the 50. Now.
You know, the way they committed, we knew that, all right, we got the first down, so let's see what else we can get. And of course, Grayson just takes it to the house, scores with it, you know, as we were talking off air. You know, I'm first thing I started with Monday morning in the indoor before we got started is you know, if you go back, I don't know if you can play it again or if you do all that. I don't know what excitement on the sideline is.
And we will we'll keep that. So you're able to talk over it too, and you'll be able to see it here.
I just, you know, I mean, obviously the team is incredibly excited that we scored a touchdown as a team, but then there's another level to
Look
that. Is that they could not be prouder of the young man that scored the touchdown, because he is everything that you want in a human being, in a football player, in a student athlete. He is team first. He is tough. Every kid has goals and dreams, right? Every kid wants those moments or whatever there, but he's never once complained about getting the ball or not getting the ball. He'd trade that moment for a win. You know, got a chance to hug him Saturday morning, tell him, I'll trade it for the win. You know, he's about the team, and to see, you know, that excitement on the sideline is.
Let's go back in there, and then we'll pause a little bit.
There's a lot of respect. There's a lot of admiration.
Here you see it again, and at the end of the screen, keep an eye on X.
Yeah, his boy.
You'll see him come down at the end of the screen, right about here is where you see him jumping.
It's a bunch of them, and there's another angle of it where you get it down the sideline.
These two guys are pretty excited too.
Yeah, and that's the level of respect that his teammates have for him, and certainly us as a coaching staff, you know, could not ask for just a better player, better kid.
Well,
so
we were
very deserving. I'm glad y'all picked that one. It was certainly a really good one.
And look, it's beginning to get about each week that you could name the block punt for a touchdown that's getting in there. We're getting spoiled on that. Trey does it again, and that was certainly one of those, and it's just such a big moment.
He's got a knack for it. There's a couple other guys that got a knack for it. everybody's going to start turning their attention to 9, and they better. If
and
not,
that's okay.
He's got such a great feel for it, and
so congratulations. That is our Southern Air Cool play of the game. It is the 50-yard throwback screen there from Carson Sellers to Grayson Thibodeau that goes down the sideline and ran for about 56 yards on that 54-yard play. And like you said, had to hand and thought he was going Judd on us.
That's right.
And pulled it back down.
Reminds you of the 2020 semifinals.
It does, and we'll take that. And that was a little shout out to Judd Barton there, who had
the one and only.
You're exactly right about that, Coach. Let's move along now to our Express Pros lineman of the game. Each week, Express Pros here in Alexandria, they pride themselves on being a blue-collar type of, hey, if you need a job and you're a solid worker, we've got it for you. If you need that employee, then we can find that for you as well. And so that one true job that you're looking for, they have it. So Express Pros does the You Had One Job Award, and that goes to our offensive or defensive lineman of the game. And Nick had some conversations. I know he talked to you. We talked about it too. Probably the best game that we've seen this young man play.
Yeah, he's played in a lot of big ball games for us throughout his career. We thought it was one of his most complete games, one of his best games in a Ash uniform on Friday night. Very proud of him.
Without further ado, and the folks at home know about it, but the folks here in the house will know about it, that our Express Pros Outstanding Lineman of the Week goes to senior number 51, Peyton Hobbs.
Yep,
he's on the phone. Is he? Yeah. There you go. There's Peyton. Peyton's going to join us next segment. We'll get him up here next segment
with some of the other
guys. We'll come and visit with them, but we're going to roll right through that, and we'll get a chance to talk to him a little bit later, Coach. But he rose up and did exactly what you wanted out of Peyton.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, X.
You figuring out why he's not here?
He's on his way.
Okay.
No, very proud of him. You know, we had a little session in the weight room this afternoon, you know, just trying to talk to the kids about, you know, what is your identity? You know, where are you? I mean, all of us have an individual identity. Ultimately, you know, we're made in the image of God Almighty.
Right.
You know, that's the core of our identity. But, you know, got a chance to go around, talk about some of the seniors and just our perspective on them. And I know Coach O.J. had a lot to say about Hobbs and just how proud he is, the progression, how demanding and hard he's been. Where sometimes it feels like, I know early in the week, a couple of kids were going home. I called them in my office before they go home. I said, hey, man, don't you go home feeling like you're a bad football player. I know you go home and it's like, all we're doing is like, this isn't good enough, this isn't good enough, this isn't good, you know, challenge. And sometimes that can have a toll on their emotions. Don't go home thinking that we don't think you're a good football player.
Right.
If we keep sticking your butt out there on Friday night when it's on the line, you need to know we believe in you. We just see the room for growth. So don't get the two things. And, you know, Coach O.J., you know, I thought did a really good job of making him understand how much we appreciate him and how proud we are of him. And, you know, season's still young. Glad we got a lot of football left with him.
Yeah, and he's, you know, and of course he probably had a more flashy play last week against Manny with the sack, but just the numbers he had. I mean, he had 6 total tackles, 4 solo tackles for a nose tackle. That's impressive.
Huge.
Yep. You know, he had
Big
1
time.
tackle for a loss. He had 1 quarterback pressure.
Yeah, you're taking on a double team almost every snap of the game, and you're anchoring in there, and you know, I mean, very proud of him. Very proud of him.
Look, and just as personable as guy, and the you know, early on in the season looked like he was taking on and eating up some double teams too, and that allowed some. And I think people are starting to spread out.
You have to eat it,
That's
try and keep them off the second level. As the second level walks in the door, X there.
Second level all by himself. That's exactly right. But congratulations again to our Express Pros Lineman of the Week, number 51, Senior Peyton Hobbs. So great work, and we'll all clap for him. Oh wait a minute! Is that some Georgia?
You don't even know, do you?
Well, no.
Kirby Smart in Georgia. We'll tell you that off
That's
air.
a whole different story.
Air,
but I couldn't pass that up. So now it's time for our Sabine State Bank Player of the Game. It's a game ball that we hand out each and every week to reward one of the players. It is made here locally by BU Designs, and we appreciate them. Sabine State Bank is our sponsor of this one, the player of the game. It's got the Ash logo and 446 Sports on there. And again, it's on the defensive side of the ball, Nick. just give us a little bit before we give the player. Go ahead.
Yeah, this young man had 14 total tackles, 5 solo, 9 assists, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 quarterback pressure.
Look, the work in
I know. So.
And that's not the most tackles that he had in a game this season, but it was just, and that's a lot.
He's been a tackling machine for us.
But our Sabine State Bank player of the game for week 6 is Xavier White is our player of the game on there. So had to draw that out a little bit till he got here. So we'll present him. Glad that you finally made it up here.
You can come on and come get your
He's
game
got to
ball.
say all his highs.
Can you quit saying hi to everybody for a minute, X, and come up here and I guess he only does. He may not be able to.
We'll get him up here with Hobbs.
We'll get him at the next segment.
Yeah, we'll
How's
get you
that?
next segment,
Since
so.
Oh, now he listens to Coach. He sees Coach. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to Hobbs. We'll talk to X. We'll award our game ball, and we'll do all of that when we come back. You're watching the Thomas Bachman Show live from Walk-Ons, and we're brought to you by Sadler's Towing right here on 446 Sports.
The Rapides School-Based Health Center brings healthcare straight to your child at no cost to you. We provide comprehensive physicals, wellness checks, sick visits, sports physicals, immunizations, behavioral health counseling, and more. Our licensed medical providers, nurses, and social workers are ready to care for your children with no out-of-pocket cost to families or the school board. Our purpose is simple: keep students in school, parents at work, and help students thrive. Sign up today.
In Central Louisiana, you might see me at the ballparks or soccer fields, or we might cross paths at the grocery store. I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, your local expert when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on. I'm Jason Hall. Learn more about how Farm Bureau insurance can save you time and money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK and let me help you protect your biggest investments. Real service, real people. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Here's an important message for everyone in Central Louisiana experiencing changes in their vision. If you've met this year's Medicare deductible and are experiencing vision changes due to cataracts, then right now is the best and most affordable time to schedule your procedure with the cataract team at Wallace Eye Associates. A new year means a new deductible, so when it's time for cataract surgery, there's only one team, one focus: your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Lori even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-Ons for the win.
And, Coach, you guys make the trip up to West Monroe tomorrow, and it's, of course, it's always a battle anytime in district, but certainly starting out up in West Monroe is one of those. Y'all don't want to watch the Thomas Bachman Show from last week. There you go. I thought that was a little weird to be talking and seeing Coach Bachman beside me when, in fact, he's not. It's our reigning player of the week, Xavier White, and Peyton Hobbs, our reigning Express Pros lineman of the week. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Man, don't act like you ain't been up here before. You know what's going on. Look, you guys have both had tremendous seasons on there, too. That defense is playing at such a high level on there. And you're at the part of the season where you're getting into battles. How's that going? How you feeling?
You know, last week, even though the outcome wasn't what we wanted, every time I stepped on the field, you know, I had so much confidence going on to the field, knowing we about to get this stop. We about to get the job done, because I know the offense gonna go punch it in. And I mean, like, if I'm being honest, that's probably the most confidence I done had in any game we played so far this season. Like, stepping on the field knowing we about to get this job done here. That was very fun to be able to play in that atmosphere. You know, you make a big play, or your teammate make a big play, the stands going crazy, it's loud. You know, that gets you going.
Look, that visiting crowd was as loud as they are back at Butch Stoker Stadium.
Yeah. It got loud. I couldn't really hear nothing for real.
Look, and that's strange up there, because normally that atmosphere is flipped. I mean, because the band and the student section is all around the ends, and usually it's way louder. But I think the visiting crowd was a lot more loud.
So the first time the defense went on the field, you couldn't hear nothing.
Wow.
Apparently, Coach Merce was like jumping up and down trying to get my attention so he could send me on the blitz on the mic, but I couldn't see him. I was too focused on the ball. I was worried about them snapping the ball. Then you got the student section right behind you, screaming, trying to get your attention. So that was the whole thing. But it was a nice environment to play in.
Look, and both of you are going to play on the next level. You both play on Saturdays next season, and you'll be in those type of environments as well. But I don't know that anything beats District 2 5A high school on a Friday night. I mean, it doesn't matter home or away. The crowds are amazing, and there'll be another great one there this weekend. But tell me about that, just being able to play in those type of games.
I think those type of games is the games we like to look for. It really, that type of game is I knew in my head where my team's counting on me, but it's gonna be loud, and you gotta know the environment you're in and drown out the sound. Because Coach Ojo told us before the game that the student section is going to find out who your mom is, who you mess with,
They'll know all of that.
And all that. They're going to try to get in your head. And if you're zoned in, like X said, on the ball where we weren't paying attention, but you zoned out the other stuff and you can just play.
What was it you think that, that's probably the most intense and best game that we've seen you play this season, Peyton. What was it that got you jacked up and ready to go for this game?
That my team was counting on me, and I had to show that I know how to play football, and I'm good at it.
Well, you showed that. You guys both played with emotion, and this goes probably back 2 or 3 weeks when the play that we've all seen the clip of when you were pretty fired up. It looks like everybody is playing with that level of emotion across that defense.
Yes, sir. So actually, before that game, Coach B told us, he said he wanted us to see, because the ones that love football going to play like they love it, and the ones that play football going to play like it. So the ones that love football going to play with their emotion. And when I made that, I want to say it was a half a sack.
Right.
When I made that, I just couldn't stop jumping up and down. I was jumping, and I couldn't control myself. Somebody that I want to say it was my teammate, it was Alex. He asked me, he said, "Why did you keep jumping?" I said, "I couldn't stop."
I don't know. So I want to show the cool play of the game. Again, you guys didn't get to see it, but it was that pass from Carson to Grayson down the sideline. And you're going to see the very end of this play. I think you know what happened on there, too. But we're going to pull that up, and it'll happen right towards the end of the play. I've got this muted, so it's not going out over there. But I want to, and Coach Bachman talked about all the excitement of the players when they're seeing Grayson and they know that he's going. But look right down here at the end. This guy right there was pretty fired up again. You know who that was, huh?
Yes, sir. That's me.
Yeah, that was you. And he talked about the excitement everybody has for seeing Grayson get into the end zone. What is that moment like?
You know, that was a big moment because I was standing towards the touchdown so I can watch the offense come this way and I won't be in the offensive way. So, and when I seen Grayson catch the ball, I was like, he about to score. He about to score. So I just started jumping up and down. You know, that was a big thing and he also got the player of the week, the player of the week, and the Farm Bureau player of the week. And we was just talking about that. He was like, "Man, to get player of the week, I'm going to have to catch 4 touchdowns, something like that." And then for him to get that just made me so happy for him, you know, seeing him.
Look, this senior group is there's no stardom on there. I mean, all of you are cheering for each other. I mean, just as if it was you out there doing it. What is it about this group?
I think this group is after practice, during the summer, we were always hanging out. We all came to my house and swam, and we're all connected in a certain way.
Right.
Yes, sir. We got a lot of chemistry, I would say. But just about it. If we don't have school on the day, we always gonna go out. We always gonna go out and eat breakfast after practice or after a lift, after a workout. Like the Saturday lift that we have, we always go out and eat with each other and just sit there. Like I want to say the other morning we went to McDonald's and it don't take long to eat a McGriddle, but we was there for 2 hours straight.
It takes me a long time too.
We was there for 2 hours straight just talking about football, you know. So.
I guess it's an understatement, and we won't opponents. I know it's a week, but I guess it's not an understatement to say that you guys are locked in for your week 7.
Yes, sir, we are.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and going and having that game at home in your senior year in front of the air horns and the crowd and all of that's got to be a good experience for you.
Yes, sir, it will. Because last time we played Pineville at home was my freshman year, 2023. Because we couldn't play my junior year because the turf was getting done. So, and it's gonna feel so good to be back able to playing at home. You know, playing in front of that crowd that wants you to succeed, wants you to do great things, and hearing them horns blow and the bells ringing.
Yep, that's exactly right. Well, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. We're going to roll through a couple of more guys. Nick, we'll take a quick 30-second timeout, and then we'll rotate on. I guess he can't hear me because he's too close to us on there. Oh, well. Guys, appreciate it. Xavier, Peyton, you guys are champs, and we look forward to talking with you again, and we'll see you. Thank you. Our Express Pros Lineman of the Week, our Sabine State Bank Player of the Game. We'll be right back right after this.
When it comes to celebrating big moments, BK Distributors has you covered. From eye-catching fathead decals and senior banners to custom cutouts that bring your favorite faces to life, we help make memories larger than life. Cheer loud and proud with hand fans and personalized signs, or honor achievements with awards and trophies that shine just as bright as the people who earn them. Whether it's for your school, your team, your business, or your community, BK Distributors delivers quality, creativity, and service you can trust. BK Distributors, where every moment deserves to stand out.
Here's an important message for everyone in Central Louisiana experiencing changes in their vision. If you've met this year's Medicare deductible and are experiencing vision changes due to cataracts, then right now is the best and most affordable time to schedule your procedure with the cataract team at Wallace Eye Associates. A new year means a new deductible, so when it's time for cataract surgery, there's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
And we're back, not quite our final segment, but getting close to it. This night has sped through. We are joined now by a couple of more members of that defensive line. Jay Spikes, Ethan Richard join us here. And gentlemen, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Look, all year long, you guys have just been battling along that defensive line. Tell me about the growth of that defensive line.
Yeah, when we first got here, we really didn't have no chemistry for it because it was just me, Ethan, Hobbs, and Bayan, but we had got Quentin Price on D-line, and he has grown, and we got Gary Boatman too, so all of us just bonded in that summer, and we built the bond, and now we playing to the standard.
Look, no doubt about it. Ethan, you've been a contributor now for a couple of years on there too. What do you see the difference from first of the season to where you guys are at now?
I think it's a lot of growth. A lot of people stepped up. We had a lot of, people that wouldn't really on the depth chart came and stepped up throughout the season, and I think we got a long way to go. Yeah, stuff like that.
What do you attribute that to? Those players that weren't necessarily on the depth chart, but are there now.
You can ask me again.
Okay. When you just said some of the guys that you didn't expect to be contributing on there on the depth chart now are doing that. What's causing them to come up and play at that level?
I think them seeing me, Hobbs, and Jace, we really set the tone, being leaders. They watching us, and they just carrying along.
As seniors, you guys have had some folks that have poured into you here. I know, Jace, you've been here a couple of seasons, but you've had that senior leader. What is it that you try to leave to those younger guys? Because it's a pretty solid crew of freshmen and sophomores and juniors that are coming up. What do you leave them as leaders about, hey, it's more than football, it's this?
Yeah, just keep working because, Coach Bachman always preach he wants to keep elevating the program. and we sow that in to the young cats there, and we try to make it, keep it there.
Look, Coach Bachman, from early on, we've been doing this, I guess, 11 years now. And he said, Doug, this was many, many years ago. He said, I don't want to build a team, I want to build a program. And that's one of those that just continues to cycle folks in. You look back at players that have gone on, they've gone on to college, they've gone on to do other things in life. You're like, man, how are you going to replace that? And then it's a group of you guys that come in there and it's like, how are you going to replace these guys on there too? But it's just, I guess, talk a little bit about the coaches and the practices and what goes into some of that.
Well, the coaches, they get us right every practice, They keep us to a standard where, the ASH standard. We don't want to play on nobody's other level. We want to play for the ASH standard. And they're great leaders, great mentors in life, and they're going to lead us on to better things going on ahead in life.
But they never get loud and holler at practice, is that?
Oh, no, they most definitely do.
They get some attention. Take me through some of your experiences on there, as I think you've played 3 home games this year, and the way that it was last year as well. Friday nights at Ash, and you're making that Trojan walk around. You come out, you hear the horns, the cheerleaders running out the flags. Take me through that, your feelings on a Friday night.
Really, it's amazing. Like it really make you feel like you somebody. You coming out on Friday night at home, hearing them horns, seeing the people in the stands. Yeah, it's a different feeling.
Jace, when you see that, tell me about it.
Yeah, it's electric. That's not our normal high school environment. That's like college level, and it just sows into us, and we just play to a different level when we get on the field.
Look, without a doubt. So Friday night was a tough one. I know that that one's behind us now. How has practice this week been getting ready for week 7?
We had to step it up because, after taking a loss, it's very sad. So, but we don't want to be saddened over just one game. We just got to keep going because, our end goal is to the Dome.
What do you look at if somebody says, look, maybe they're down from there and aren't going to come out with the fire that they come out with?
Nah, we most definitely are. We don't hold grudges on just one game. We know it hurts, but we just gonna keep fighting.
Look, there's no doubt about it. Nothing like getting back home and doing one on there. Favorite moment, Ethan, that you've had through the last couple of years? Let's take the Dome out of it. Let's take the Dome and that play, but something in your experience as being an Ash Trojan. Maybe it's just school. A favorite moment for you?
Probably really like around the time we was going to the Dome, like the week of the, it was like electric, like people around us celebrating us, happy for us and stuff throughout the school day, and people coming up to you, congratulating you and stuff like that. That was pretty good.
Jace, how was it today? They had the screening of the Road to the Dome in there too, in the student body. How was the atmosphere inside the auditorium?
Yeah, the kids, some kids never seen it.
Right.
They was happy to see us, on a big screen because, you don't really see Ash on a big screen.
That's correct.
And the kids loved it. It was just good seeing the kids that never watched the show.
Well, guys, I appreciate you stopping in. We're looking forward to a big Friday night from both of you, without a doubt. 0-1 in district, looking to right that this season. Guys sit at 5-1. Congratulations on the season so far, but a lot of work to go.
A lot of work, yes,
there
sir.
you go. Jay Spikes, Ethan Richard join us here. We'll talk to him again before the season is out. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll have Coach Bachman back on with us. Nick will join us again, and we'll wrap this up live from Walk-Ons. It is the Thomas Bachman Show, brought to you by Sadler's Towing, right here on 446 Sports.
The wait is over, Sinlaw. DBAT Alexandria Baseball and Softball Academy is almost here. Whether your child is just starting out or aiming for the big leagues, our state-of-the-art training facility and expert lessons are designed to guide them every step of the way. Let's foster growth on and off the field. Sign up to be a founding member today. The wait is over, Sinlaw. DBAT Alexandria Baseball and Softball Academy is almost here. Whether your child is just starting out or aiming for the big leagues, our state-of-the-art training facility and expert lessons are designed to guide them every step of the way. Let's foster growth on and off the field. Sign up to be a founding member today.
And we are back here, final segment of the Thomas Bachman Show. Been a wonderful night on here. Big thanks out to our friends at Walk-Ons that have provided us a spot to be on Thursday nights and other nights if need be for some 6 years now. Been a part of doing this, I guess, close to 11 years now, Coach, and it's been enjoyable all along the way, without a doubt.
We should be Friday nights from here forward this season.
That's what I'm
Thursday nights, because we're playing on Friday nights.
That's it. Yep, we'll be in here. So you bring a gentleman up here with us, too, that may not ever come back because he stays away from the show, I think, for this particular reason on there, but is invaluable. I mean, just the work that he does. Coach, before we bring him on, tell us a little bit about Eris.
Well, that's a hard thing to do, to try and sum up all the things that he does, and operations, film. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to describe it all. And if I were to try to describe it, he just serves.
Yeah.
It's everything that he can do to help us be successful come Friday night. There's no job too big, no job too small. Constantly working, the amount of pride that he takes in what he does, how important it is to him. I know that I sincerely appreciate, he and Coach Mercer are, I don't know, best friends since, I mean, they've been best friends for a long, long time.
You said y'all graduated together?
Yep.
He looks a lot older than you. Go ahead. Sorry about that, Coach.
Yeah, that's him saying that, Merce, not me.
It's Doug at 446.
Yeah, no doubt. But, I mean, just the camaraderie of when you get guys that really just enjoy being a part of the group, as we all do, and work as hard as they can to make us as efficient as we can be, in the process of having a good time and mixing it up with each other and laughing at each other's expenses, and just, it builds camaraderie. And, I think that what he brings to the table and that is valuable is all the other stuff. It just is genuinely a sincere, hardworking class act.
Well, Eris, tell us a little bit about you and what your day is like there with the program.
Well, first off, is it broken?
Not at all.
If it's broken,
he fixes it.
Oh, you're that guy. I thought you meant what was going on. I was like, no, it's not. You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No.
Wow.
Well, start of the day, we just got to make sure everything's up and running. I've learned so much from watching Coach B, Coach Mercer, Coach Free, Coach OJ, Skip, all that. Honestly, when they brought me in, I was like, I'll just be doing my thing.
Right.
This here, this there. But man, do we do a lot. We do a lot. But like you said, nothing's too small. We go in, and I keep expanding my role every day. Going from, all right, we're just filming a little bit here and there. All right, we need everything. The whole practice field has to be filmed somewhere into what we have today. It's insane.
You're just, you have a plan for how you're going to attack the day, right? But you're constantly, hey, here's the next thing, here's the next thing, here's the next thing. He also teaches a full load of classes from, second hour all the way through. I mean, he's great in the classroom, brings a lot of value to Miss Goodman in the academic side of things and test scores, and, takes a tremendous amount of pride in the teacher that he is, and so, that's very valuable, for us, because a lot of coaches earn the reputations that they get,
Look, I'm going to tell you.
And I'm proud to say that I feel like we've got the best of the best where they're really good coaches, and then they create value in the school building during the school day.
There's no doubt. I'll tell you a couple of the things that I'm most grateful for about Harris is, one, middle of the day, mid-morning, goes up in the press box and turns the air on. Because we've walked up there when it's 101 and that sun's shining directly on you.
That's right.
But he'll call it, or he'll text Nick, or he'll let us know, hey, the air's on. Okay.
It's a good man.
And the other is the can of wasp spray that he keeps with him. Tell me a little bit. There was a video that got leaked, Harris, and it was put to music of there. It was a Rocky theme, wasn't it? Were you on top of the press box swatting the wasp?
No.
Who released that video? I don't know.
I don't know.
I heard Donahoe film that. He AI generated it all. It wasn't me.
So
that boy Donahoe.
It was just, it was great. But that's just a testament to it. The things that people think are little things, you're out taken care of. And let me tell you, if you think that that's not important, see if they're not getting done, and then see how important that is.
All the things you do behind the scenes so that you can be efficient when the kids are in the building and on the field and in meetings, it's a lot, just as it is in a lot of things. It's a lot as far as high school football goes and trying to compete at an elite level. There's a lot of small things that have to be taken care of, or you're just wasting your time when you get out there.
But it is a lot.
Yes.
But it's so fulfilling.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
so
That's right.
fulfilling.
Yes.
That's right.
What's a couple of your moments that you're putting away? If anybody ever says, look, I'm going to write a book on this about what's happening, what's a couple of those moments? It could be Coach Merce, Coach Bachman, Coach anybody. What's a couple of those moments you're like, boy, that's something?
You would think I would say something funny here.
Right.
But let me tell you, the family we have, I've
Yeah.
never seen something like, I've seen coaches walk out all the time,
Right.
but no one wants to leave Ash. No one wants to leave.
That's
like,
huge.
We want to hang out with each other after work. We're talking on the phone, something like that, always discussing things. It is a family at Ash.
Coach, 10 years ago when we started doing this, 11 years ago, I guess, when we started doing all this, and I mentioned it before, you're not building a team, you're building a program. That screams program right there.
Absolutely. It's the kids that you get to coach, and it's the people that you coach with. And I thought he described that very well. There's a genuine camaraderie. You know, we're real protective of who we're going to let. You know, there are a lot of good football coaches that won't fit inside the locker room,
Right.
you know, with morale. And I say inside the locker room, inside the coach's office, you know, it's got to be the right fit. We've got a really good thing, really special thing going because of the quality of human being that's in there. There is a family feel to it.
Look, and we did, man. That's such a surreal moment too, because I expected a hat throwing moment or a clipboard breaking moment or something, but for you to say, look, it's just about the family, man. That's such a deep, deep moment right there.
One good story. They told
Here
me
we
after,
go.
right? I think it was when we were filming early, and it was like on night vision or something. And me and Coach Free had tied into it in the office. We were arguing, and when I say me and Free were arguing, like there were voices raised. It was an intense conversation, and you know we've had many of those. Coach Free and I mean, don't bat an eye 5 minutes later.
Right.
You know, I mean, we want what's best for our team. We want what's best for each other. We want what's best for the player.
You guys
that
have been
we're
together
discussing.
a long time.
But it was an intense conversation.
But no doubt in my mind, I was like, oh, they'll go straight through this. They're gonna
Right,
be fine.
but-
It was awkward in the moment.
Right.
Yeah, it cleared the office out there for a little while, but somebody said Harris is like, and then they're going to see the film. And it was like, yeah, I'm not worried about the film right now. We're arguing about other things, but
Look, that's the kind of stories that we love. Anybody can talk stats and those different things, but it's the team behind the team, and it's after the whistle is gone that you like to hear those stories, and those are truly great ones. Everybody that we've talked to each week talks, in fact, about the family side of it, Coach, and well done with all of this group. You talked from day one, 11 years ago, about it's not just me. It's these guys that are with me, and that's true today.
And all of them have had opportunities elsewhere,
Right.
you know, and here we are. We're still together, still chasing, you know, big goals and dreams with our kids.
There you go. Well, looking for another big run at it. Eris, don't be scared away. We appreciate you being out here. You did a tremendous job sitting in that seat, and had it not been for my partner of 3 years, then that's a good spot for you.
Just the natural.
See, there you go. And it's the modesty that really gets us going on. No, Eris, great job, my friend, and everything that you do. Get that air turned on tomorrow, and it'll be.
Yeah, that's right. We're back at home. I guess we'll do one more wrap up tomorrow, or we're done.
Yeah, that'll be goodness gracious. Just like that, you guys will be back at it again. Again, we tell you the pregame is at 6:30, but there's only a couple of regular season home games left, so don't watch our broadcast. Get your behinds out there to Butch Stoker Stadium. There's a lot of good football around, but if you're watching this show, the most important thing to you is Ash football, we believe, and so we invite you to come out to Butch Stoker Stadium. Get there early. Parking is what parking is. Come on in there. Bring your air horns, your noise makers, and get loud and get proud.
We've been on the road now for a couple of weeks. Hadn't played at home since week 4. We need a packed house. Our kids need to feel the energy from the crowd. You know, I'm hoping that Pineville will come south of the river and force, support their kids. They got some really good players, some dynamic kids. I think the tailback, number 23s, is as good as there is out there. Just a ton of respect for him and you know, the plays that he puts on film now for a couple of years. They've got a slot receiver that can really go. They're experienced on the defensive line. They've, I hope that the stands are full, and it's a great representation of Central Louisiana football and Central Louisiana community. This is the only local game we get to play where two communities get to turn out, and we're certainly hoping that that's the case tomorrow night, that it's a great atmosphere for both teams. That's why we wish we played more local games. That is the thing, is because when it's 15 or 20 minutes up the road, you can make that trip. Only so many of our people could make the 2-hour trip to Monroe, and they were incredible when they did. It was awesome, but it's not like when you get two local communities together where you fill up both sides of it. So I'm hoping that's the case tomorrow night. And who knows, maybe we can play some more local games in the future.
Nick's not had a home game between Pineville and Ash that he's done, too, because of the quirkiness of the schedule. So this is his first time to be in that element.
Since 22.
That's correct. And as much as, yes, I love it. I wouldn't trade anything. But there's something about when that caravan of Trojan fans come over the ridge there and they're driving into the stadium of Pineville with the horns honking and all of that stuff, announcing their presence with authority, as they said from Bull Durham on there.
Now we get to do it as our players come out, and they get to make that run down to load up the helmet to come to the sideline. I'm ready to hear the horns and the crowd and the support. I think that's like a shot of energy for our kids. I know I enjoy it, and looking forward to it tomorrow night.
As they officially say, it is time to cue the horns. We're going to be back 6:30. We'll go on the air tomorrow night. Kickoff is going to be at 7 p.m. The only local game that you're going to have between these, unless things change. But we'll talk about that down the road. Who knows? Guys, it has been a wonderful night. Congratulations to our honorees of the night. Our lineman of the week, Peyton Hobbs, tremendous game that he did. Our Southern Air cool play of the game was that pass from Carson Sellers to Grayson Thibodeau that goes 54 yards. And don't keep your hand down when you're running into the end zone. Look, I saw him pull that down right away. He did a tremendous job on there, and I don't believe anybody was going to stop him. And, of course, our Sabine State Bank player of the game was Xavier White. X indeed did mark the spot. For my man Nick Magnano, for Coach Harris who joined us, thank you, Coach, and all of those around there. My man Thomas Bachman, I am Doug Gann. God bless you all, and good night.